Klinger here, sitting here in beautiful Stoke-on-Trent. You can see this behind me. Awesome. Little cloudy day. I wanted to shoot this video for you guys because I'm really learning how to collect my mind, have a peace of mind. I think that's really what we're all looking for. You know, you'll hear everybody all day talking about make money online, do this, do that. But I think what everyone's really searching for is that true happiness that comes from inside yourself. It's having collected thoughts, having that true peace of mind. You know, most people, majority of the people and population of the world are consumed by thought, you know, and thought comes from somewhere else. Thought doesn't even come from you. Thought is a different entity altogether, is what I'm starting to learn and understand from what I believe. That consciousness can exist without thought, but thought cannot exist without consciousness. And to become truly conscious, to wake up, so to speak, is to truly live in the present, live in the now. You know, I've read a lot of books lately. In these last couple of months, I've felt this change happening inside of me. I've seen things in a different light now. I see the life in everything. I see the connection of the spirit in the trees, the birds. I can hear things differently, a little clearer. The colors are more vibrant to me. Everything looks a lot more alive, but I feel in tune with it, you know, especially nature. It's amazing. And everybody who I come in contact with, my relationships are growing much stronger and much more true and meaningful. And I just wanted to share this with you guys because what happened recently is I started reading a book by Eckhart Tolle called The Power of Now. And it's really the book I think I've been searching for. And I want to encourage all of you to read it. Now, it started with me reading The Secret of Letting Go by Guy Finley, which is a spiritual development book, to The Science of Getting Rich and The Science of Being Great. And this all comes down to the same basic consciousness is what it talks about. That we're all connected by a consciousness. Some people call it God. Some people call it a universal intelligence. Some people call it the universe. Some of you are atheists and you don't believe in it at all, but there's no denying the fact that we all come from one same source of energy, that the universe is all made from the same substance. Broken down, whether it's a tree, a rock, a plant, oxygen, it doesn't matter. Everything is the same structure when it's in its base form, and that's energy. Some people believe that there's intelligence in this energy. I myself do. Some of you may not. But you can't deny the fact that we all come from one substance, that the universal energy is in everything, and I believe that it connects us. You can't even see it, but it's around you. It influences all sorts of things in your life, and it's created the world that you've seen around you. And what I've really been trying to do with myself is just to come in connection with this energy, or this universal intelligence, or God, and just being. That's the truest sense of being. I think it's what the soul really searches for, is to be in connection with energy, with itself, with the consciousness, and to be truly awakened. Because I believe that because of the way that the society's been bred and grown, that the governments of the world, media, has really suppressed people and their thought and their consciousness and the way that they think and act and day by day, and teach them to live in fear, really, by picturing and imagining these false scenarios. And you get so caught up in your thoughts that all you could ever think of is the past and the future, and you never realize that right now is the only time that truly matters, that right now is the only time that you can really grow as a person. Right now is the only time that the universe and life will truly unfold for you. You see, living in the past does you no good because it causes regret, and it's done, it's gone, and you can't change it. So there's no point in reliving these situations over and over in your head. Living in the future doesn't make any sense because the future doesn't exist. It hasn't happened yet, and this creates anxiety and it creates more fear. And what happens with the vibrations that we send off into the universe is that one small negative thought attracts another larger thought, and so on and so on and so on, until you're just consumed by all these negative thoughts. And it holds you back from your true potential and from true happiness and from true consciousness, and just being and realizing that where you're at right now is an independent moment in time that is the most important moment in time. You see, by the time you get done watching this video, you'll be a different person than you are right now. Life is constantly dying and being born. Your cells on your body, the leaves on a tree, it's all the same. You know, dogs shed their fur, people shed their skin, trees lose their leaves, and they're constantly reborn and regrowing. And it's all energy, it's all consciousness, it's all the same thing, I believe. Maybe you don't believe in this, that's fine, that's your belief. This is what I believe. And when you start to just realize that you truly live in this moment, everything becomes so crystal clear. And you can sleep at night, you can breathe deep, and you can just be happy, not just content, but find joy in right now. You know, it's the most beautiful thing. I mean, look at this right here. Look where I'm at right now. The reality is that there's not much more beautiful places on the world than what I'm looking at right here. And if I can't find happiness with right now, with this moment, I need to really work on that, but I have. And it's amazing. I want to share it with you guys. become very spiritual. And I used to say things like, oh, everything that I went through in my life has given me the strength to be where I'm at right now. I see it in a different light now. See, now I realize that the past doesn't matter, the future doesn't matter. What gives me strength, what gives you strength, is something that's inside of you already. What gives you happiness is something that's inside of you already. The same with me. That allows me to inspire people like you is something that's already inside of me. It's called being awakened. It's called being conscious of your surroundings, conscious of your life, conscious of the beautiful gift that's been given to us, conscious of just being where you're at and being happy with where you're at and being grateful for everything. It's really the most amazing thing that I've ever experienced in my life. Now, how did I achieve this? And it's not even something to be achieved. You see, that question doesn't even make sense. It's just being. But what led me here, I suppose, was meditation, was reading, and just focusing on my breathing, focusing on my inner body, the energy that's inside of me, and thinking about my heart beating, and listening to the silence. There's silence everywhere. There's silence under all the sounds that you hear. There's silence in between each of your words. Focusing on those, I started just really focusing on the moment and losing all the negative thoughts, and then becoming an impartial watcher to my thoughts and to my emotions. And when a thought comes into my head that's negative, not judging it and saying I shouldn't think that, because that's just more ego, that's more judging, but just watching it. And you find that the more you just watch, the faster they fall, and the further apart they become. And then the letting go of things like, I deserve happiness. See, to me, that's just another sense of entitlement. That's just the ego speaking again. And it's no different than, if you believe in God, you believe he's some white-cloaked, white-bearded, supreme being up in the clouds. I think that's missing the picture. Because that's also the ego talking. Even in the highest form, the ego is still not a good thing to have. I do believe in God, if you want to call it God, or being, or consciousness. I believe that there is one universal consciousness that is in everything, that creates everything, that everything came from. This is what I believe. Maybe you believe in something different. That's the beauty. You can believe in whatever you want, but there's no denying the fact that we all come from energy. The same type of energy. When all broken down, we're all just energy. If that's easier for you to accept, that's fine. But what I really want to do is I want to encourage you to read and read and read and read, and then meditate and just think, or contemplate, or think and then don't think. Focus and don't think. It's the power of now. And I think the right way to do it is to think for a little bit and then to focus on the moment by focusing on your breathing and meditation and letting go. And then thinking a little bit about it and then letting go. But really come down to the point, like me, what I'm trying to do is to where a majority of your life is just living in this moment and letting go of all anxiety and fears and just realizing that it's a completely separate entity, your ego. Your pain body, as Eckhart Tolle calls it, Guy Finley calls it your false self. But, the misrepresentation of what you think is you, all the past experiences that you hold on to, the anxieties of the future, it's a separate entity than who you truly are, than your own consciousness. And it gets scared when you start to let it go. Because like any entity in existence, it doesn't want to die. But it doesn't deserve to live in you because it holds you back from happiness and from life. So with that being said, my name's Hank Klinger. I want to encourage you guys to meditate every day, to read every day. And if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Facebook at Hank Klinger. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Google+. So take care, guys. Learn to let go, and you can find joy and happiness in this moment right now, because this moment right now is the only one that truly matters. I love you. Take care.